That's all it took for an entire village of 237 people to vanish without a trace. No footprints, no signs of struggle, nothing but empty houses with dinner still warm on the tables. I'm not making this up. This actually happened earlier this year, and scientists are completely baffled. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's absolutely mind-blowing mystery, make sure you hit that subscribe button because, trust me, you do not want to miss what I'm about to show you. I've been researching this for weeks, and honestly, I haven't slept well since. So let's talk about Hoia Baciu, a small village nestled in the remote highlands of Romania. If that name sounds familiar, it's because the nearby Hoia Baciu forest has been called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania for decades. But what happened on February 17th this year makes all those old legends look like child's play. I first heard about this from my friend who works at a European news agency. She called me at 3 a.m. my time, completely freaking out. Mark, you need to look into this. An entire village just disappeared. At first, I thought she was exaggerating or maybe had gotten some details wrong. People don't just vanish into thin air, right? But then I started digging. And guys, this rabbit hole goes deep. Here's what we know for sure. On February 17th, a delivery driver named Mihai Popescu was making his weekly run to Hoia Baciu village. He arrived around 6:30 p.m. right as the sun was setting. According to his statement to local authorities, which, by the way, was mysteriously removed from official records just days later, he pulled into the village square and immediately felt something was wrong. It was completely silent, he said. No dogs barking, no children playing, not even smoke from the chimneys. But the lights were on in every house. Mihai called out, checked a few homes, and found them completely empty. Meals were half-eaten, TVs still running, phones left on tables. One house had a shower still running with steam filling the bathroom. It was as if everyone had vanished in the middle of whatever they were doing. Now, here's where it gets even weirder. The Romanian authorities arrived within hours and immediately cordoned off the entire area. No press allowed, no civilian access. They claimed it was for public safety. But safety from what exactly? That's the question that kept me up for days. I managed to get my hands on some satellite imagery from the day before and the day of the disappearance, and you won't believe what I found. The day before, everything looks normal. People moving around, cars parked in driveways, normal heat signatures from homes. But on February 17th, at exactly 6:17 p.m., there's this bizarre light anomaly that covers the entire village for exactly 3 seconds. When it clears, all human heat signatures are gone. Just gone. Look, I'm not saying it was aliens or some supernatural force, but what else could cause something like this? The official explanation from the Romanian government is that it was a planned evacuation due to potential landslide risks, but come on. Who evacuates and leaves their dinner on the table? And where are these 237 people now? No one has come forward. No one's been seen at refugee centers or hospitals. They've just vanished. A local geologist I spoke with, who asked to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, told me there's absolutely no geological evidence for landslide concerns in that area. In fact, it's one of the most stable regions in the entire country. So that explanation is complete nonsense. Some skeptics suggest this was some kind of mass migration or cult activity, but I've looked into the village's history extensively. These were ordinary people, farmers, teachers, a doctor, families who had lived there for generations. The village had a small Orthodox church, a school, and a community center. There was nothing unusual about it, except its proximity to the Hoia Baciu forest. Ah yes, the forest. If you're not familiar with it, the Hoia Baciu forest has been called the world's most haunted forest for decades. People report lost time, unexplained lights, apparitions, and strange electromagnetic phenomena. A 2018 study by the University of Cluj measured electromagnetic anomalies in the forest that were up to 8 times stronger than what would be considered normal. The researchers couldn't explain the source of these fields. Could whatever forces that create these anomalies in the forest have somehow expanded, reached the village? I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but when you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. And the truth here is that something beyond our current scientific understanding happened in that village. But wait, it gets even stranger. 3 days after the disappearance, all digital records of the village started disappearing from government databases. Tax records, birth certificates, property deeds, all gone. It's as if someone is trying to erase any evidence that these people ever existed. I managed to save some of these records before they vanished, and I've shared them with trusted colleagues in case something happens to me. A local shepherd who was grazing his flock about 2 miles from the village claims he saw something that night. He described seeing a curtain of light that seemed to pass through the village. At first, he thought it was just unusual weather, maybe some kind of electrical storm. But then he felt what he described as a pressure in his head, and his sheep became extremely agitated. By the time he made it to the village the next morning, authorities had already closed the area. Now I've seen my fair share of weird disappearances and unexplained phenomena, but this one keeps me up at night for one specific reason: the watches. According to the initial police report, which again has since been deleted from official records, every single clock and watch in the village stopped at exactly 6:17 p.m. Mechanical watches, digital watches, phones, computers, even the old clock in the church tower, all frozen at the exact same moment. Physicist Dr. Elena Novak from the University of Bucharest has suggested that only some kind of massive electromagnetic pulse could cause this kind of synchronized failure. But here's the kicker. Nothing else was damaged. No fried electronics, no power outages. Just the timekeeping devices stopped. It's as if time itself stopped in the village. I've been in contact with families of some of the missing villagers who lived in other parts of Romania. They're desperate for answers, but the government has stonewalled them at every turn. One woman I spoke with, Maria, whose parents lived in the village, told me something that chilled me to the bone. The night of the disappearance, she received a call from her mother's phone. When she answered, there was no voice, just a strange, rhythmic humming that seemed to modulate in pitch. The call lasted exactly 17 seconds before cutting off. When she tried calling back, the phone was dead. Could this be some kind of message? A clue? Or just a random technological glitch in the chaos of whatever happened? Some fringe theorists have suggested this might be related to experiments with quantum physics. The village sits above an unusual geological formation with high concentrations of quartz crystal, the same material used in precise timekeeping devices. Could some kind of quantum fluctuation have occurred? A temporary slip between dimensions? I know how that sounds. Trust me, I do. But I've been investigating strange phenomena for years now, and I've never seen something with this many unexplainable elements. The simultaneous disappearance of hundreds of people, the stopped clocks, the light anomaly, the systematic erasure of records, it all points to something beyond conventional explanation. The Romanian government has now declared the area a restricted zone for environmental concerns. They've built a fence around the entire village and have military personnel guarding it 24/7. Why such extreme measures for an environmental concern? I've tried to get closer to see for myself what might be happening there now. The closest I got was about a half-mile away before being turned back by armed guards. But even from that distance, I could feel something off. The air felt heavier somehow. The birds were silent. It was as if nature itself knew something wasn't right. Now I want to be completely transparent with you guys. I don't have all the answers here. I don't know exactly what happened to those 237 people, but I do know that the official explanation doesn't add up, and too many strange elements of this case have been deliberately hidden from public view. I believe those people deserve to have their story told. Their families deserve answers. And we all deserve to know if something is happening in our world that defies our understanding of reality. So here's my promise to you. I'm not giving up on this investigation. I have contacts in Romania who are helping me gather more information. I'm consulting with scientists who specialize in electromagnetic phenomena and quantum physics. And I'm going to keep pushing until we get some real answers. What do you think happened to the villagers of Hoia Baciu? Was it some kind of natural phenomenon we don't yet understand? A secret government experiment gone wrong? Or something even more mysterious? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if anyone watching this has information about what happened in Hoia Baciu village on February 17th, please reach out. You can contact me anonymously through the email in my description. Remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And sometimes the most important questions are the ones powerful people don't want us asking. This is Mark, signing off for now, but definitely not giving up. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and I'll see you in the next video.